Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. My name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach, have a bachelor's degree in education, a master's degree in counseling, a master's degree extension in mental health counseling, and I am a certified dating and relationship coach. And I am here to bring you the weekly live Q&A. So many of you have been DMing me throughout the week, and then I have to copy and paste the same message. So let me explain how it works for those who are new to my page. Also, if you are new, this is the first time you see me go live, please let me know who you are and where you are from so I can appropriately welcome you to the land of love. Okay, so how does it work? Not now. Okay, here we go. Every week, every Tuesday, I post this same exact story. Sorry for the reflection of the rain. The same exact green story. And then there's a box. In the box is where you put your question. You do not DM me your question because I will not be able to find it. And if it is too short, or the box doesn't allow for you to put everything, figure it out. Love you, figure it out. Or you could click the link in my bio and you could book a full session, because that means there's all of this context that I need to know in order to address your concerns, which means that you need to invest so that I can help you appropriately, okay? Again, do not DM me the questions. I will not be able to find it. Do not email me your questions. I will not be able to find it. And the last thing is, and I say this lovingly, if you do DM me or email me, please start with a greeting. I don't know if it's because I'm a West Indian, but I'm going to need y'all to say good morning, hello, good afternoon, something, some kind of introduction, okay? Because let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the same thing I do with the adults I used to do with my students. When they would say Miss Williams, which then became Mrs. Wellington, my transcript, my classes, my this, I would say, hello, Danielle, and then press send. I am not responding to anyone who does not greet me appropriately. Let's just be respectful. All right. So let us jump in. And thank you for everyone who has joined us. Get Fit with Tiff is back. I guess you were busy with classes, girl. You ain't have time for me. Welcome back. Hello, Tay Michelle, Jazzy Baby, Glam Gal. Thank you for coming on. I see Skin Bars. Hello, hello, hello. Miss Jen is in the building. I hope all is well. I hope your family is well. I know you're down in Florida. Thank you, Nancy D. It's coming out and then it's going right back in, but that's a long story for another day. The Black Bachelorette. Hello. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Bella Poet. Who else do we have in the building? I can pronounce your name and not mess it up. To encourage you, Dolly 0403, Little Lady, The Power of 888, Jay how are you, babes? Hope you're healing. Miss January Capricorn, Reese, and that's everybody else that I probably cannot pronounce. Okay, there we go. Let us jump right into our weekly live Q&A, okay? First question, and the first question always goes to my people who are subscribed to my page. It only costs $4.99 to subscribe. What you will do is you will X out of this, you will go to my page, you will click subscribe, you will pay $5, and you will get exclusive content, you will get uplifting reels, you will get morning gems. That's where the morning gems went to. For those who are asking, they went to my subscribers, so I called the A-team, okay? The A-team gets the exclusive stuff. So they always get their questions answered first and most thoroughly, and then if and when there is time, I will answer everyone else's as much and as best as I can. Okay? Okay. So let's start. How do you appropriately answer the question, why are you single? How do you appropriately answer the question, why are you single? So I actually did a reel about this and it wasn't well received, and I don't care, because I'm going to tell you that there is nothing wrong with the question in itself. There is nothing wrong with asking someone why they're single. I take it as a compliment. If I was single and someone would have asked me, Alison, why are you single? I would take it to mean you seem so amazing. You seem like such a great catch. Seem, no offense, right? Everything's what it seems. So why is it that someone hasn't snatched you up yet? It's a legitimate question. Now, there may be negative connotations that some people choose to put on it, right? However, there is a compliment within, you seem so great, so why is it that you are available, right? And I think this is a great opportunity for people to share within reason why they are single. It puts yourself in a position to begin to establish what your boundaries are and begin to establish what you're looking for romantically. So when I was single, if someone would have asked me, Alison, why are you single? I would tell them the truth. Before my husband, right? I would say I was dating someone who wasn't looking to commit. We were together for about 4 years and he just wasn't able to meet me where I was. As a result, I thought it was best that I move on and find someone who was looking for the level of commitment that I'm looking for. Boom. right? I'm not going to take it offensively. I'm not here to then describe a resume of all of the things of why I'm so amazing and sell it to you. This is not performative. I'm going to tell you exactly. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's my truth, right? Y'all know this. Y'all been with me. That is my truth. So I'm going to tell it, right? And then it also begins to plant in this person's mind that Alison will leave my ass if I don't commit. So if I'm not looking for that, let me leave this girl alone from now so I can avoid conflict moving forward. Now, that's not going to be everybody, right? There's going to be some people who's still going to try to play games, some people who are going to still try to squeeze something out of you, but plenty of folks are going to say, and that's enough for me. If I can begin to weed out the foolishness, however and how many I can, I'm going to. If someone says, this girl Alison is real serious, I'm not here for that level of commitment, let me leave this girl alone, then that's one less person I have to deal with, right? So I'm not going to take offense. I'm going to answer the question. Why am I still single? I'm single because I really was dedicating my 20s to my career. Now I'm 28. Now I'm 31. I'm well established. I feel good about where I am in my education. I feel real good about where I am in my whatever, right? And so now I feel like it's time for me to create a family. That's what I'm looking for. Start dropping those gems early in the game. You drop the gems early in the game so that people who don't want what you want, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with them not wanting what you want. It don't make them a F-boy. It doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them a hoe. What it does is establish what you want from the beginning in the hopes that some of the people who was looking to play games or looking not for what you're looking for, right? Not an appropriate match. Then they start to weed themselves out. Good. They might ghost you. Good. Who cares? I'm not invested yet, right? I didn't sleep with this person. I haven't spent money on them. I haven't spent years with them. So let them move appropriately. No shame in answering the question, why are you single? Answer it. And begin to drop those key words that tend to scare people away. Let them be scared good. Make sense? Okay. I ended a 4-year relationship with my boyfriend. How do I know if I'm ready to start dating again? Don't want to repeat patterns. Ended a 4-year relationship with my boyfriend. How do I know if I'm ready to start dating again? I don't want to repeat patterns. This is an excellent question, okay? So how do you know if you are ready? There's a couple of key pointers that's going to help you to navigate whether or not you're ready to get back on the dating scene. Number one, when you do go on a date, so this is going to require you to just try, right? Like I'm going to need you to just jump out the window and actually try because we're not going to really know until we put that effort in. So when you go on the date or when you're having conversations with other people, then are you constantly comparing that person to your ex, right? Oh, he wouldn't have wore that on the first date and he would have taken me someplace nicer than this. If there's a constant comparison, usually where your ex is looking better than the new person that you're seeing or conversing with, then you're going to know that perhaps you're not ready because again, you're still clinging on to the old relationship and you're not prepared to move on to the next one. That's one that's pretty straightforward. Another one that's pretty straightforward is that if you are still crying, right, if you're a crier, right, and you are literally still crying tears over your ex-boyfriend or over that ex-relationship, you're not ready. If you are still communicating romantically with your ex, or if you are still sleeping with your ex, you are not ready, right? You need to end that relationship in its fullness, including perhaps ending the relationships with the people that they are associated with, their parents, their sisters, their friends, their loved ones, goodbye, right? And then the last piece of advice that I would offer you about whether or not you know if you are ready to move on to another relationship is goodness, now it effing escaped me. If you're still communicating, if you're still having sex, I remember now. If your heart drops when your phone rings or vibrates, meaning that when your phone rings or vibrates, you are still hoping that is the ex who's reaching out. You know I know some of y'all, it's been a long time since you've been through some heartbreak, right? But you know what I'm talking about. When your phone rings and you're hoping and praying that it's your ex who's calling, then that means that you're not ready, okay? Use any of those. And if you are struggling through a heartbreak, I want you to click the link in my bio, check out my free training, From Breakup to Boot Up. It's an hour and a half that talks about how to get over an ex. And then I also have my free ebook, Move On Sis. It says sis, it can be sir, it doesn't really matter, but it's 5 steps to get over an ex. Free stuff, okay? Okay, very good. Well, thank you, the date coach. Besides dinner dates, What else would you suggest for people dating in their 40s? Besides dinner dates, what else would you suggest for people dating in their 40s? This is a suggestion I have for anybody who is in a position to date, right? This is not for folks who are only exclusively in their 40s, but for anybody who is actively dating, I highly recommend that you do activities other than just dinner. Number one, dinner can get expensive and boring and repetitive, right? So I would recommend that you do things like physical activities if possible. So what does that mean? That might look like that you guys are going bowling. That might look like that you guys are doing mini golf. That might look like you guys are doing rock climbing, like physical skating, physical things. It's just so much more fun, and it also helps to fill the gaps. When you're at dinner, other than chewing your meal, the expectation is that the conversation is consistently going. And many times, even if you do like the person, they like you back, you may not be in a position to just constantly fill that dead empty space. But if you are doing a physical activity, there are going to be times where you're focusing on the physical activity. It gives you a way out where you can kind of breathe and think about whatever you're going to ask next or whatever you're going to answer next, right? Because if I'm focused on lining up the bowling ball along the, oh goodness, what is it called? The alley thingy, right? And then I'm so like, there's time, I don't have to be concerned about keeping the conversation going, right? So make sure that there are some things that you can do that are physical. Go to any kind of outdoor stuff. Outdoor stuff is really fun. Like, it really allows for you to enjoy the outdoors, enjoy the company of the person, and have conversation, right? So if there is a county fair, if you can go, like for instance, in Brooklyn, you can go to Coney Island, you can do axe throwing, you can go to some kind of festival, and things that are physical. And if you're not physically fit, right? So maybe you're not going to go hiking, maybe or maybe not, then do other things that are not as necessarily physically strenuous, but allows for you to have those gaps. Okay? And then you can share your interests and see if they're into what you're into too. Good. I can't answer this question, but I'm going to read it anyway because it was asked of me. There is a boy, I assume man, who I am dating. I am always thinking about him. Is he serious about me? I have no clue. I don't know. How would I know, right? Like, only he knows that for sure. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at his behavior so that you can assess whether or not he's serious about you. Does he communicate constantly? Is he talking about a future? Does he dedicate time, effort, energy, potentially money? You're the one who has to decide whether or not this person is serious about you based on their behaviors and the way that they treat you. I am not in a position because I'm not there, right? Epitome of class that you can ask him to, right? But I'm going to look at behaviors. How is he behaving? And then I'll be able to assess whether or not this person is seemingly into me. My daughter is 16 and I'm 34. I only date men my age. Should I date men slightly older? My daughter is 16. I'm 34. I only date men my age. Should I date men slightly older? Okay. So, I'm assuming that you put your daughter's age there. This is just an assumption based on no facts. I'm assuming that you put your daughter's age there because you're concerned that perhaps the gentlemen that are your age, 34, may be romantically interested or attracted to your 16-year-old daughter. Because I can't imagine why else you would include that unless you think that that's a factor that may negatively impact your dating experience, right? So this is what I'm going to say. Any grown 34-year-old man who is romantically interested in a 16-year-old girl is a weirdo. And I would not be concerned about dismissing all men in their 30s because you think that they may become attracted to your daughter. That's not the norm. Okay? Does it happen? Sure. That's not the norm. And I would not, again, dismiss an entire age group of people, I assume men in their mid to early 30s, because you're 34, just because your daughter is 16. And I'm assuming that you're thinking that perhaps they may be romantically attracted to, interested in whatever your daughter. Okay? Maybe she wants to know that people, but I don't know why she would include that unless she's concerned that that might be an issue. And that's the only issue I can imagine. Right? I think that when anyone has a child, they have to be very careful and very particular about the adults, or even sometimes children, that they allow in around them. Maybe she means father figure. I'm not really sure. But nonetheless, I don't think you should dismiss an entire age group because of that. I think that you should date the men who are in alignment with what you're looking for romantically. So again, I say this every week and it's A-okay because I am here to teach. What I tell my clients to do is to come up with a list of non-negotiables. Those are the behaviors and the traits that you are looking for in a romantic partner. I recommend no more than 6 because if I let people make a list, it's going to be 30. No one's ever going to measure up. And I say this lovingly, you ain't going to measure up neither. You ain't going to measure up neither, right? So 5 to 6 non-negotiables. These are behaviors and traits that a partner must seemingly have for you to then spend time with them, date them, potentially commit to them, potentially marry them, blah, 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 right? If a man is 34, 36, 38, 42, 29, and he seemingly matches those behaviors and traits, then you should give him some consideration, right? But I am not going to dismiss all men in their early to mid 30s just because they're in their early to mid 30s. I'm going to dismiss gentlemen based on the fact that on my assessment, they do not have what I'm looking for romantically. I am looking for a hardworking man. I am looking for a God-fearing man. I am looking for an affectionate man. I am looking for whatever you're looking for, right? I'm asking questions. I'm paying attention to behaviors. I'm observing the way that they treat others. I'm looking for a man who's respectful. I'm looking for a man, whatever you're looking for. You got to decide. Don't listen to my list. Create your own. And I'm asking questions. I'm paying attention to behaviors. I'm looking at the way that he treats other people, right? And then based on that, I'm going to decide whether or not someone matches, not because they're 35, so they're good enough. But if they're 34, they're not. They're 38, they're good enough. They're 34, they're not. They're 42, they're good. There are a lot of men who are 42 that are a hot mess express and do not have their lives together. And a 27-year-old man might be in a better position. So age is not going to be a determining factor. For me, that's what I would advise. Okay, so someone asked 6 non-negotiables, what number of negotiables? Your negotiables can be unlimited because they are negotiable, which I don't even know if I said that right, which means that they can come or they can go. A negotiable for me would be a man who can cook. If he can cook, great. If he can't cook, it's not going to be a deal breaker. So you can have 1,000 of them, but again, they are negotiable, which means that the person does not have to have them for you to give them a chance, for you to date them, for you to commit to them, for you to marry them. So you can have as much negotiables as you want. The negotiables don't matter. That's why they're negotiable. They don't have to have it. It would just be nice. Okay? What are the do's and don'ts on first dates? What are the do's and don'ts on first dates? I'll give you 2 do's and 2 don'ts. Number 1, the first thing that you want to do is that you want to feel as confident as humanly possible. This is for any man, woman, non-binary, whatever. You want to feel confident. What does that look like? That means that you are wearing an outfit that you feel fits your physique, really is a good color for your skin, makes your eyes pop, whatever that looks like. You want your haircut to be fresh. You want to be smelling good. You want to walk into that date as confident as humanly possible. Think about if you were going on a job interview, you would wear your nicest suit, you would wear your nicest dress, you would wear whatever, right? You want to walk into this similarly to an interview because it's a romantic interview. So you want to walk in feeling your best. Try on the outfit well before you go on. Do not squeeze a date into the in-between. I'm going to the gym, I'll bathe real quick and then go. Like really make a valiant effort to look your best. That is an absolute do. The second do that I'm going to give you is that you should have questions because again, you have your non-negotiables. You should have questions that are already lined up. Now, the don't to that side is that this is not the Spanish Inquisition, right? We're not just shooting off questions, pew, 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 pew. Like you are not going to overwhelm this person. It's not an actual job interview. It's a romantic interview. So I have a few questions that are lined up that align with my non-negotiables. I'm going to ask a few of them, but I'm also going to sprinkle in the regular stuff. What are you watching on Netflix or Hulu? Do you believe in reincarnation? Tell me about your childhood. Like you're talking about regular stuff too. You are not going to overwhelm people like it's a job interview because then that's boring and it's not enjoyable. Okay? So I gave you 2 do's. I gave you a don't. The last don't is that you are not going to talk about your ex in excess, meaning it's not going to be a date of, oh, my ex did this, my ex did that, mistreated me, did that to me, I played him, I played her. Now, if you're asked, right, like someone asked, why are you single? And so that you might bring up an ex because that made sense. You answer the question, you move on. However, if you're making it an entire thing about how terrible this human being was, then you come across as jaded and nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy or a negative Nathan. Okay? Is there love after 50? Is there love after 50? There is love after 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105. There are always opportunities for you to get back into the game, for you to start dating again, for you to find love. Now, perhaps with your age, there may be some new complications, right? Maybe some new complications. There may be some old ones that have expired, and now you have some new ones. But just because you're 50, it doesn't, or any age, it doesn't mean that you are not in a position to find love again, right? What are some of the complications that I mean? So, for instance, perhaps you are 50, and so a lot of the people who are in your circle who may be close in that age range, late 40s, early 50s, they may be married. So the older you get, you tend to find people who are going to be committed, which means that there's going to be a reduction in the dating scene. This is the nature of the game. When you are 20, the percentage of people who are married is going to be way less than when you are 30, when you are 40, when you are 50. So that might be an additional complication, right? However, when you're 50, people tend to benefit. People tend to know who they are. They're clear about what they're looking for. They're less likely to play games. You have less F girls, less F boys, right? Like, so there are going to be pros and cons no matter where we are in that age range. Absolutely, there is love after 50. Okay. Miss Jen says, my auntie got married at 65 and it's the best relationship that she's ever had. Okay. There's always hope. How do I let someone go when you know it's not going anywhere? Can I just say it? Yes, you can just say it. You can just say it, right? And I'm glad that you know. She said, I know it's not going anywhere. Because you know this, it should make it so much easier for you to actually let go. Because there's no if, ands, or buts. You know it's not going anywhere. So why are you wasting your time, which is the most important because it's yours, but then why are you wasting this other person's time too? You know it's not going anywhere. You can simply say it. You know, we've been together for X amount of time. I really enjoyed the time that we spent together thus far. But I think you know, and I know that this isn't really going anywhere. I'm looking for blank. It seems as though you're looking for blank, blank. And so as a result, I think it's best that we part and we go separate ways. Now, unless you think this person's going to do you something, right? As my mother would say, hurt you. There's no reason why you just can't blatantly say it. No reason at all. So things aren't working out. I'm sure you feel the same way. I love using, well, I don't use that line because I'm not dating, right? But I love recommending to my clients when you know that things aren't going in a direction that pleases you, use that line. I'm sure you feel the same way because 9 out of 10 times, even if that person doesn't feel the same way, they're going to use that as a lifeline to say, oh yeah, I was feeling the same way. Right? And it just makes that separation so much easier. I'm sure you're feeling the same way. So it's best that, we separate. So I don't normally take questions. However, I do have a little bit of time. So if you have any questions, you could go ahead and drop it in the question queue, not in the comments. The comments go too quickly and I get distracted. You can drop it in the question queue. There's a question thingy right there. Drop it in the queue and I will take it. I think I have 2 left, but I have some time so I can give it to you. Okay. How can I heal from a rough breakup with kids involved and no real closure was given? How can I heal from a rough breakup with kids involved and no real closure was given? I'm going to answer the second half first because it's easier. Okay. So F, closure. How about that? So are we not going to move on with our lives because we are depending on someone else to provide this thing called closure? I don't know who invented it, but you do not need it in order for you to move on with your life. And thank God that you don't. Thank God that you do not need, my stuff is falling. Thank God that you do not need closure in order for you to be able to function. Okay. So this whole ideology of holding on and needing to have that final conversation, many times it's because we want to have that final blank, right? Or we want that final opportunity. I hope y'all know what the blank is. That final opportunity for us to rekindle. F, closure. You do not need it because there are going to be so many times where it's not provided, and what you're going to do, be stuck in that chapter in your life because someone else did not provide you with the closure. forget that. Okay, remember guys, I said put the questions in the queue. I need you to follow the instructions, all right? So that's the second half of your question. How do you heal from a rough breakup when kids are involved? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click the link in my bio. You're going to tap on the free training that says From Breakup to Boot Up, which talks about how to move on from a relationship that did not serve you. You're going to download the ebook, Move On. I know that you are a man, so you're going to just download where it says Move On. You're going to check out that ebook. Now, some of those steps will not be able to be beneficial to you because there are children involved. But what I will say is some of it is useful. And what you have to do is that if that person is still trying to get back with you, you have to make it abundantly clear with your mouth to their face that you are not interested in rekindling. And you may have to say it over and over and over again. But unless this person is emotionally unstable, they will eventually get it. It may take 3 months, it may take 6 months, it may take 9 months, but you're going to say, clearly we did not work. However, I want what's best for you and I want what's best for our kids. So let's talk about how we can build a healthy co-parenting relationship. And you might have to say that over and over and over again. You're going to stick to those boundaries. You are not going to sleep with them ever again because you do not want to share mixed messages. And it may be just sex for you, but it's not just sex for them. So you cannot sleep with them ever again. When it comes to phone calls or text messages, unless it's about the kids, do not respond. Hey, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. What's up? Oh, just checking in. Do not respond. It's after 11 o'clock. They're sending you messages. Hey, is little Junior okay? Is little such okay? Yeah, they're okay. Just check. Do not respond. Establish very clear boundaries and eventually they will get it. Okay? After, I don't know what word that is. After reconnecting, I think that's what it is. After reconnecting, he keeps asking or dwelling on why I didn't give him a chance back when. Is this a red flag? If you are answering the person's question, really answering their question and being super clear about what you're saying, and they are either unwilling or unable to accept your answer, then yeah, that's a red flag. That means that you guys are not communicating on the same level. I'm not going to assume that they are the problem. It might be you. You might not be being clear. I need you to be abundantly clear, answer the question. And if they are unable or unwilling to accept your answer, then that means that the way that the two of you communicate is problematic and will probably cause conflict in the future. Okay? Excellent. She told me that she does want our relationship to work and that she still wants space. But what if she forgets me? She says she wants our relationship to work, but that she just wants space. But what if she forgets me? Okay. So if someone is legitimately interested in you, like they really want it to work, then guess what? They're not going to forget about you. Like, why would they forget, right? If they legitimately want it to work, then they're not going to forget about you. How could they forget about you, right? Unless there's something wrong with the brain, they can't forget. Now, if they don't want it to work, then yeah, absolutely, they will forget about you. But they didn't want it to work anyway, so who cares, right? You need to invest in the people who are willing to invest in you. Now, I don't know if you're the reason why things went up Schitt's Creek or not, but if she doesn't want to give you a second chance and she doesn't want to give it to you, what you going to do? Sit here and cry and complain about it for the rest of our lives? No. She says she wants space. You give her the space. You do check-ins every couple of days, every couple of weeks. If things are able to be rekindled, great. If they're not able to be rekindled, then oh well, it's not meant to be. You learn your lesson from the relationship and then you do better the next time. And that's it. Okay. I think I got 2 more questions in here. Let me see if I can find it. I'm literally holding up this light and now my arm hurts. I'm 30, never had a boyfriend, and have no friends. I want to change that, but I don't know how to pass from cordiality, is that a word? But I like it, to real friendship or romantic interest. The guys I've liked have always rejected me, and now I feel sad and worthless, like I'm undeserving. Okay, I'm going to answer the second half first because that's easier. The guys I've liked always rejected me, and now I feel sad and worthless, like I'm undeserving. So 2 parts. Number 1, is it always? I have a conversation with my friend Shirley all the time about this always and never. You never listen. You always do this. Is that even accurate? Or are we catastrophizing? Are we making things worse than what they are? Are we being, in essence, dramatic? So is it every single guy that you have ever liked has rejected you? Or or are we being dramatic when we say, I'm always rejected? We have to be very mindful of the language that we use because we have to make sure that it's accurate. Okay, so that's number one. If that's not the case, if it's not always, then that means that there has been a guy that you've been interested in who has reciprocated. Good. If it's always, then we need to have a conversation around what you are interested in. Because if every single guy that you have ever liked has not liked you, then that means there's something about your standards. I'm going to be honest with you. There's something that's unrealistic. And so that would require a deeper conversation. All right. And I know that might not be nice to say aloud, but it's the truth. How is it everybody? Nobody that you like likes you. Perhaps the people that you like are not in your lane. Right. And I would say this to a woman. I would say it to a man too. I'm not sure if this is a man or a woman, even though the person likes guys. Maybe the people that you are trying to date are all out of your lane. If it's every single one, if it's not every single one, again, let's not be dramatic. Let's stop saying always. And then, okay, so that's good. That means that we're not being dramatic. That means that there are people that we have liked that have liked us back. So then now it's talking about dating skills. So what I would recommend is you click the link in my bio and you check out the free training, The Partner You Deserve. It talks about how to navigate dating in 2022, going into 2023, both online and in person. If you need more help than that, then you may want to consider hiring a coach. It does not have to be me. But if you are 30 and never had a boyfriend, you have no friends, then that means that you may need some personal one-on-one time, some hand-holding to teach you those social skills. Okay? How do I meet men in real life? I feel like my ideal guy isn't on a dating app. Based on what? I feel like. Based on what? Feelings is not based on any fact whatsoever. The same human beings that are on dating apps are the same human beings that are in Starbucks, that are on the train, that you meet at work. They're the same people. So this feeling like your guy is not on a dating app is not based on any fact whatsoever. Okay? How do you meet guys in real life? You're going to click the link in my bio and you're going to tap the Dating 101 Masterclass. It's 3 hours on how to navigate dating both online and offline. I do have the free training, but that's only an hour and a half. It doesn't get into specifics of where to meet people. The paid one does. It's $37. You will be okay. Okay? Not you per se, just in life. All right? All right, beautiful people. I am going to wrap it up right here. And say thank you for joining, okay? I'm going to go eat. I'm going to spend time with my husband and my baby. And I hope that this was helpful and useful to you all. I will be saving the live like I always do. If you want to make sure that you get your question in on time, all you have to do is one of two things. If you want to get it in for free, cheapo, then you're going to click the link in my bio. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. You're going to join the free VIP list. I'm going to text you 15 minutes before I go live, and you're going to put your question right there in the link that I provide via text message, right? If you want to guarantee that your question is answered, then you are going to subscribe to my page for exclusive content. The morning gems that y'all used to love so much, it's all there for those people, those pick-me-ups, those kicks in the ass that sometimes that we need. All of that is for my subscribers. I call them the A-team. You're going to click not click the link in my bio. You're going to click on my page and then you're going to go ahead and subscribe. It's $5. You will be all right. All right, folks. Thank you. Someone said I'm amazing. I appreciate you. And yes, I will see you next time. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.